Did you go on one date with him?
3.
3 days?
Three
Can you talk about
dates.
how you felt when you were with him? Did you feel a spark immediately? Talk about how you felt.
I felt like I met my soulmate and everything was just the way it was. And I thought we would just do what everybody else did and we would just like get married and everything would be fine.
65,000 text messages. That's like
That's
next
it?
level stuff.
No, to me it seemed like more.
What the fuck is up, internet? I'm that dude Swainzilla, aka old guy with too much time on his hands, coming at you from the man cave, and this is crazy ass news. Woman sends man 159,000 texts and breaks into his home after one date. Wow. Either this guy is super handsome, charming, and successful, or he figured out real quick how to do that thing she likes. An Arizona woman who allegedly sent 159,000 text messages to a man and broke into his home after they went on a single date believes a jury will find her innocent. They found her at his house, right? They found her at his house, taking a fucking bath. And they have all the text messages. There's 159,000 texts, and they probably went through all of them. So this chick was found mentally incompetent to stand trial, right? And later on, we'll get into this this interview she gave while locked up that makes it pretty clear that either she's nuts, she's batshit crazy, or she's putting on a show, which, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell where the line is on that anymore. But she believes that the jury not only will find her innocent, but they'll make the dude marry her. Like, I get wanting to try to get an insanity plea, but, like, I feel like she could just, a stalking charge or something, and a breaking and entering. What kind of time is this lady getting? Plus, she's a woman. I mean, she's probably not getting a shit ton of time, so maybe she's not making it up. Maybe she just lost her shit. But I mean, there's no mention throughout the story that I read of this, any other previous incidents. So, like, she grew up, and then she just went crazy on about one guy, which it just seems kind of nuts.
That's nuts. Especially that's crazy. Okay, all right.
And she's been locked up, but she was stalking this guy for 10 months. So that must have been. She must have sent 160,000 texts over a 10-month period, which I don't think in my entire life I've sent 160,000 texts. But in 10 months, like, that's gotta be a record. Like, how many texts is that a day? I'm not gonna do the math, but I'm assuming it's quite a bit.
Lots and lots and lots and lots.
She sent him threatening text messages, including one that read, "I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones." She's gonna make sushi out of this dude's kidneys and chopsticks out of his hand bones. Like, god damn, maybe she is just a lunatic. And then she's like, "Oh, what would I do with your blood? I'd want to bathe in it." Like, dude, there's
Ugh. No. No. Didn't like it. Bad taste in my mouth.
I don't know what it's like to have somebody like this obsessive over you. Like, to be like, "I want to swim in your blood," and think that that's a romantic gesture. That's never happened to me.
Not a shit.
So they met on this dating site called Luxy, which is an online dating service that calls itself the best luxury millionaire matchmaker dating app.
It really has an air of sophistication.
You have to make like 200,000 K, or be attractive, or have like be referred in order to be accepted to this website. So or this dating app. But clearly they don't care if crazies pop on. Like, I don't know if I don't know if this woman makes more than $200,000. I mean, some of the pictures I would have, she's attractive. But is she rich? Who would, maybe somebody knows she's crazy and they referred her as like a gag or like a prank. I don't know. And so they only chatted on this site for a couple days, and then they went out, and then she was just hooked, like texting and threatening, and she was breaking into this motherfucker's house. Like, Dude, he must have dicked her down. Either he dicked her down or I don't know, but he turned her the fuck out. Dude told her, like, hey man, he must have saw the red flags like right away. Like, this chick, nah. Like, I'm good. And then she started texting. She was texting this guy like 500 times a day. Can you, like, try to text yourself 500 times in one day? Like, she didn't do anything else. Did she even eat? Was just one text after another? Like 500 texts. I don't think I send 500 texts in a year, let alone a day. Then in July of 2017, she just parked outside the guy's house. She started doing surveillance on the guy. The cops found her in the dude's house, taking a bath once. And then her response was, she started like doing scientific equations at him as like instead of giving him a reason why she was there, that she was supposed to be there, that dude let her in or anything like that. She just started throwing like scientific fucking equations at her, like the bitch is Einstein or some shit. Jacqueline says, I guess that I made up the whole scenario in my head where I live here, so I came here and pretended that's what was happening. Girlfriend is off the rails for sure. I want to finish this off by watching and reacting to some of her jailhouse interview because this poor woman, well, you be the judge. You be the judge. Hello, it's future me, who is currently editing this video. Just a heads up, I'm going to keep this interview reaction down to just the highlights because this video is long and it deserves its own upload, right? Because it was batshit crazy from the beginning to the end.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Jackie.
Okay. You want to ask me questions?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Why don't you start from the beginning? How did you wind up here?
I wound up here on a road trip from Florida, looking for, I guess, love.
Wow.
Isaac texted me and he says, have you ever been to Arizona? And I was like, this is really weird. I just decided to come here. And I said, I'm not going to meet him unless God throws it in my face. So we start talking. I was like, I'm not going to go there. Then he told me he has my same birthday. So I was like, okay, I have to go meet him because I told God that's what I would do.
Oh my God.
Did you go on one date with him?
3.
3 days?
Three
Can you talk about
dates.
how you felt when you were with him? Did you feel a spark immediately? Talk about how you felt.
I felt like I met my soulmate and everything was just the way it was. And I thought we would just do what everybody else did and we would just like get married and everything would be fine.
65,000 text messages. That's like
That's
next
it?
level stuff.
To me, it seemed like more.
Jackie, some of those messages don't sound like love, they sound like threats.
When you're finding love, not everything is perfect.
It's not perfect.
This was a journey.
She's right. Not everything's
And I
perfect.
want
This is
to
a journey.
apologize because nobody would ever be more sorry.
Would you have really hurt him?
No. I love him. So the rest of the equation is L equals 3.3. L equals 3.3 times E equals MC squared, and that's...
Oh, this is the scientific equations the cops were talking about.
Are you coming to finish your prayer? And I was like, please don't tell me that this is you sending me fake text messages because you want me to come over so you could call the police on me again. But I did it. I went there because I knew it was him. He said he was looking for a doctor and a prayer, and I said nobody else would say that to me but him. So.
All right, guys. Go ahead and turn your cameras off.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so I only watched a little snippet of that interview before I watched the whole thing. I had no idea what we were in for. Wow. So, but I still kind of feel the same way. I thought that maybe she was faking it with a little bit that I heard. And I mean, it's hard to tell because I was watching it like and sped up, but the way she was doing that weird like breathing thing, it almost like she was was pausing to think, right? So I don't know if she's faking it. If she's not faking it, then this woman needs help. He called her on a fake number. Like, the way that she was talking about this guy, I mean, I feel like I feel like he's known her. He knew her. They were talking for like a year. And she warned him that if he blocked her, she would move to Arizona. Then this whole interaction with the bartender took place. And so then she moved to Arizona. And then he still went out on a date with her. And then they hung out for 3 days. And then he called the cops. Like, I feel like this guy may have been trying to take advantage of this woman. Is kind of my thought. He knew that she was kind of off. And he kind of tried to manipulate her, maybe to get a piece of ass, and then he didn't like, I don't know. Like, if she's always talking the way that she was talking in that interview, I think that you have to, I think dude might have been trying to take advantage of her. I really do. The more I think about it. Because if you heard a woman talking like that to you, like, and then you block her and she still shows up, and then she's like, the picture's over, she's attractive. And then he hung out with her for 3 days, at least from her point of view. Maybe they didn't. Maybe even the date wasn't really a date. Maybe she's just making it a date in her mind. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. She is kind of blurring the lines by, is she really fucking crazy? Is she not crazy? But wow, that's crazy. That interview was nuts. If you have a quick second, answer these questions for me in the comments. It's for science. Science! Have you ever been this obsessed over a love interest? I've never been like a handful of times I was kind of like head over heels crazy. And one time I kind of turned into an asshole. Nothing like this. But I definitely said some ugly shit that I really regret saying. And I learned a lot from it. I don't think this woman's gonna learn her lesson. I think that she needs help. I'm serious. She needs help. Has anyone ever been this obsessed over you? Me? Short answer, no. Have you ever sent 500 texts in a day? Have you ever sent 500 texts to anybody or multiple people? Or maybe you work in a corporation and you have to text bosses, and maybe even include like group texts individually to different people. Have you ever sent out 5 text message communications in a single day? Because that sounds fucking nuts to me. How did this story make you feel? For me, it made me feel concerned. It made me feel concerned for this woman. I'm a little concerned about this dude out here trying to take advantage of people, and it made me concerned about getting out any fucking dating apps, that's for sure. Anyway, that's all I have for now. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.